What's up, everybody? Welcome to the PixelPlay Sidequest, your bonus content here on YouTube. My name is Adam, aka CS Radical, and I am gonna do my personal ballot for the Game Awards. Now, I don't know actually what's got nominated for everything. So I'm only aware of the Game of the Year because that's obviously the one that kind of you pay attention to. I guess I'll just move the screen over here. I have a bit of a bone to pick. I think it's just because there's way too many sequels here. Player Obscure deserves to be here. There is no doubt about it. I don't know where Death Stranding 2 getting a nomination is coming from. I know it reviewed well, but I don't hear any hype about it. And I'm saying this as someone who has a bunch of different people that play a bunch of different games, and I also follow, whether it's subreddits, journalists, all that jazz. No one's talked about this game, at least in anything that I'm paying attention to. And I go through a lot of stuff. Like, I'm not sitting here saying this as being like, oh, these 10 channels that I look at haven't said a word about it. No, there's a lot of different things that I go through. And just, I've not heard much about it. You know, even when it came out, I didn't hear much about it. And I certainly don't hear much about it going towards the Game Awards. So I don't know where this nomination is coming from unless it's just the Kojima vote. Donkey Kong, I think, is a similar story. I think it's just a Nintendo vote. I'm not saying it's bad. I think there's just better experiences about it. Silk Song and Kingdom Come Deliverance are also just like, I think they're here and there. Like I think I'm more just upset with the fact that games like, you know, Dispatch, Blueprints, a lot of games that tried something new didn't get recognition for that. And it's just sequelitis 5 out of 6. And you can say, well, Bonanza technically, yeah, I get that, but like, it's just re-existing franchises. And in a year that, and when we review this when we have like our first show or however we do at the beginning of January, when we talk about the entirety of the year and we talk about all of our personal awards, the biggest theme of 2025 to me personally has been the non-AAA industry has busted their ass to try some new shit that no one else is. And all this is doing is telling me that no one actually cares that people are trying stuff new. It's just the safe shit. Claire Obscure is going to win a shit ton of awards, so the conversation is going to be, well, see, look, the new IP won, but at the cost of literally trouncing just sequels. So unless they're intentionally doing this to show that, see, all of these sequels had nothing on in this game, then I guess you have a case there. But I don't know. I'm also just being an old fuddy-duddy at this point. With the fact that I'm 37 and I'm finally getting out of just playing the same AAA games over and over again, and now I'm getting annoyed that no one else is. But it is what it is. But anyways, I'm not going to put what I think's going to win. I'm going to put what I would actually choose, because this is my ballot, not our predictions. So Hades 2 would be the winner. That's not even I don't even have to think about it. It's the lone game on this list that is a 10 out of 10 on my side. Best game direction, I would actually give this one to Claire Obscure, and just because of what they were able to pull off with the studio they have. I know that a lot of them had experience, but it doesn't change the fact that this was just a really impressive game overall. Narrative, same deal. We'll go to Claire Obscure. I am disappointed Dispatch is not getting a nomination here, but it is what it is. Best art direction, this is where it can also get a little tricky. I do like Hades 2 a lot here, but I think at the end of the day, like, Claire Obscure had such a unique art style that I think was just really, really good. Now, I normally would have voted for this, and that's probably who will still win. But Darren Korb deserves this because there is so much stuck in your head for weeks music in this game. After finishing Claire Obscure, forgot most of it except for Lumiere. And as I'm just putting the finishing touches in Hades 2, I can think of like 5 songs right now that are stuck in my head. So, and yes, almost all of them are Skilla songs. But that's besides the point. Audio design, I'll probably give this one to Yote because I don't really think too much about Claire Obscure's audio design. I mean, if I hadn't played any of these, I might lean to the Battlefield 6 direction, but based on what I played, Ghost Yote would take it for me. Best performance, so it's basically whatever ones of the, well, you know, Troy Baker's Indiana Jones is, shit, you know what, yeah. As if Troy Baker needs any more accolades, but I think between all of those performances, I think I really liked his the most. Innovation and accessibility, I don't have any opinion on this section, but I'll just use this to shout out South of Midnight, because I do think that game sadly will not get any sort of attention other than just the fact that it was like one of the few Xbox games that didn't suck. Games for Impact. Another thing where I don't know nearly as much about it. I mean, South of Midnight is gonna get my vote. I have going to play at some point Desperate before this year is done, and I've heard a lot of interesting things about it. Wander Stop I tried, couldn't get into. And Lost Record, similar thing. I've started, and I might end up going back into it, but I haven't been able to stick with it. And I think it's just because I'm distracted by other things. But for now, it'll be South of Midnight. But it'll be interesting to see how by the end of the year I feel about it. Best ongoing. Do you really have to ask me? Do you have to ask me? I've played way too much of this fucking game. Best community support. I don't have any other opinion other than Helldivers, so I have to vote for them. But I will say, like, without knowing what the other teams have done, Arrowhead has busted their ass to try to, after all the weird up and downs they have, they've tried their asses off. I got to give them some level of credit here. Best independent game. Sorry to you, both of you. Blueprint should be a Game of the Year nominee, and it's pissing me off that they aren't. That's going to be the biggest takeaway of this whole thing, is that they are not going to get that. This makes me upset because I really want to vote for Dispatch, but again, Blueprint is just way better. Dispatch is my 2 to Blueprints is 1 right now. Hades 2 is also right in there as well. Best mobile game, I have no opinion, but if I'm going to vote, I'll just give it the Persona 5 vote. And if we could load, please. Come on, be nice. There you go. Best VR AR, I don't even have an opinion of it. I'm just going to throw in Deadpool. This is just vibes. Best action game, I mean, Hades 2. I'm surprised. I guess it makes sense as an action game. I originally had like this being the favorite, and now that Hades 2, because I didn't know it was going to be in the category, but Hades 2 would be the winner for me. I would have voted Doom if Hades 2 wasn't in there. Best action adventure. I'm glad that this is making the category, and I really hope that it does get that recognition because it was phenomenally way better than I ever thought it was going to be. Yeah, that's no question there. It's going to be Clear Obscure. They're just going to run the table. I'm even planning because Chris and I, we plan to be there when they're streaming it live. I do plan to have on the screen the number of awards that it wins by the end of it. That's just kind of my plan there. Best fighter. Did anything else come out? Really? We got collections? Is it really that bad this year? I mean, Fatal Fury was actually surprisingly pretty good. I didn't say much about it because I didn't play like a whole lot of it, but I really enjoyed it. So I'll give it that. Best family game. Just because for Kaylan vibes, I mean, I will say it'll probably be Mario Kart. Actually, you know what? I really can't vote for that because I haven't played it. I should be a little more honest with, when I'm voting for it. It should actually be a game that I've played, which is Mario Kart. Best Sim strategy. I'm gonna be sad when they don't win it, but The Alters also deserves way more nominations than they're going to be getting. Best sport racing game. Well, it'll just be Mario Kart again. Best multiplayer. I have not played any of these. I'm trying to think of where I would go in this direction. Because now this is just going to be what I think is going to win. I think it's going to go to Battlefield. It probably goes to Night Rain because it's fucking stupid how it does that. But for you know what? I haven't seen any of them, but for Kaylan, there you go, buddy. There's your Splinter Cell Death Watch. Most anticipated game. We know it's going to be this. I'm not voting based on that. This is currently the game that's interesting me the most. Wolverine's pretty close too, but at the end of the day, no. Charlie's the only one that I even pay attention to. This is where I really stop caring. So we just kind of run through these. Let's see. Well, I'm just going to go for Counter-Strike because, well, it's the one game I care about. Okay, here's my favorite part. Do we vote for the one I actually have heard the name of? And the answer is no, because I don't know who any of them are. All right. I need to get a number randomizer. Just for fun. Number generator between 1 and 6. And it says 1. Congratulations. Okay. Liquid, you get it because I actually know who you are. Oh, no, we broke. Crap. Cloudflare, I know you went down earlier, but come on. It's almost done. I mean, if I have to stop here, fine, whatever. It's just esports awards. Oh, for God's sakes. Was it just esports? Okay. Well, let me do the last bit here. I don't know if it's gonna. I think we'll just kind of give up there then. It's being a pain in my ass, and I'm not appreciative of it. So can I actually pull this up nicely? That's the real question. Let's see. Can I get this thing to pop up the way I want it? The answer is probably gonna be no, because that would be too nice. It's probably gonna, as soon as I flip over here, it's probably going to overseed. Oh yeah, there's. I'm gonna have to fiddle with this bitch. It's not gonna look very good, but too bad. So I didn't fill them all out, but yeah, that's the vote card there. When we actually do our predictions, because obviously if you watched Wednesday's main show, Chris is on vacation. Kaylan's actually not going to be with us the following week, so we're going to have a couple of weeks or a couple episodes where we're not going to be talking about our predictions. We'll probably do that the first show that we have together unless something's pressing, because I think we have 2 chances before the Game Awards to do that. But like, I think we'll just, as soon as we have the entire group together, that we'll do our predictions there. I do think that it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of how many awards Expedition 33 is going to win. It's just, you know, do they actually, because I'm trying to remember what the record is. Record for most wins at the Game Awards. Because wasn't it Last of Us that did it? And of course, I don't think I'm going to get the answer I want right away here, which is kind of annoying. Yeah, I can't tell. So I actually don't know off the top of my head like who's won the most. But I could have swore it was Last of Us, and I could have swore the number was like 6 or 7. And realistically, Game of the Year is probably one. Game Direction is probably one. Art Direction, Narrative should be guarantees. Scope and Music or Score and Music might be. They probably will win a Best Performance. I'm trying to think of what else they had in there. Well, they're going to win Best RPG. So I think there's a solid shot of them, if not tying, maybe breaking. Because, oh yeah, I forgot they're on Indie. You know what? They're going to break it because they're going to win Indie. Like, I would be shocked and I would be pleasantly surprised if they say, look, we got to give the attention to other games. We can't just have Expedition 33 win everything. Now, in retrospect, that would be stupid because if Expedition 33 is Game of the Year and it doesn't win the best indie categories, what's the point? But, you know, sometimes the Game Awards can be weird like that. But if they go by the logic of, well, if it wins Game of the Year, it has to win Best Independent Games, that's 3 awards already. It's going to win at least three or 4 more, given like narrative, art direction, game direction, performance, all that. I just don't see a scenario where they don't, you know, break the record. Like it's at that point now that I know they're part of the Independent series, because we also, when we were talking about on the show, I think we agree that the odds, it's almost impossible for them to break the record for the most. And then now that they're put into the Independent and that's 2 more awards they can win, oh, they will. And if they don't, I'll be happy, because I think it's nice to, you know, divvy it out and give people more attention. But at the end of the day, there's also the conversation that if Expedition 33 wins a shit ton of awards, that actually means a lot, because it means that a game that flies in the face of what the basic bitch AAA studio is pumping out right now would be so much bigger. The fact that like this, and I know that, you know, this studio, also I do agree with Yahtzee Croshaw, his talk about how this shouldn't be eligible for best debut indie, because most of these devs are super long veteran devs. It's just a new studio. Blueprints was literally made by one person who had never made a game before. So I genuinely hope that, like, I know Blueprints isn't going to win Best Independent. I pray that they at least are nice and give them attention by giving them Best Debut Indie. Because if you really want to take that category seriously, that's what it actually is for. I don't like the fact that studios that have long-standing members at the helm of it count as debut. That's not what that means. Just because the studio is new doesn't mean that the team is. Because we get a lot of these teams now. It's a new studio, and it's just all devs from whatever. Like, Dispatch shouldn't be a best debut indie either, because the studio that did that is all a bunch of Telltale devs. So, like, as much as I would like Dispatch to win an award too, if they could, they shouldn't win that one. It should be Blueprints based on what I think that award should actually mean. But anyways, I digress. The only other one I can say is, can we please not give GTA 6 2 straight awards? You should be disqualified from the category 2 years running. I don't care. Like, most anticipated game, if the game doesn't come out for 10 more years, does that mean GTA 6 wins for 9 more years? No, it shouldn't. So I think either First Light or Wolverine deserves it because it's the first time they're on the fucking list. At least I think so. I don't think they were on last year. Let me just quickly check that. I don't think they were. Let's see. Where is the anticipated? They were not. So yeah, no, one of those two should be eligible. GTA 6 should not be winning an award for pushing a release date back. That's bullshit. They're going to, because it would be a nightmare if they didn't win and people would flip out. But guys, think about it for 2 seconds. They shouldn't. Come on now. But anyways, that is my list. There's going to be some interesting conversations to be had. This list may even change if I end up playing something, in the next couple of weeks. I don't think, like, Despelote, I think, is the only one that has a chance to, like, get in my head before then, because I don't think I'm going to get around to playing Sonic, because it's still way too expensive for me to want to justify getting right now. But yeah, there's definitely a lot there that I think is really interesting, and it'll be really nice to see how it all goes through in the end. But anyways, that's going to do it. So thank you so much for checking out this week's Sidequest. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe. And if you got some comments, what you think should be the winner, if you think my opinions are a little bit off and you want to say how stupid I am, hey, I'm down. Go for it. Put it in the comments below. Otherwise, we will see you on the next video, whether it be our main show or another Sidequest. But for now, take care. Goodbye for now.